Hi. I apologize for my reflective glasses. They're not reflective glasses. They're just glasses that happen to reflect the light in this room. As you may notice, I'm in a different location today. I take my glasses off, except I really can't. I can't read what I got to read, but I'll do this until I need to read. So I'm in a different location today. My lovely wife is upstairs doing some Zoom meetings right now, even as we speak, which is why she's not joining me for our usual cocktails hour here. So I'm in my son Spencer's room, which also serves as my pandemic office. So there you go. That's why there's so much sports junk in here. Some of it's mine, though. I'll tell you what. So yeah. So welcome. Good to see y'all. We haven't had Wi-Fi or internet all week, so I don't know. Is anything new? Did I miss anything? Okay, good. Things, pretty much going okay. Back to normal. Of course, I kid. Yeah, I mean, what the hell, right? 2020. I'm just, what I'm really surprised about this being 2020 and all, it's, we all had our fingers crossed that, hey, Tuesday was going to be, smoother sailing than it was. Tuesday was what, about 6 weeks ago? But what I'm really surprised is that you remember that there was a prediction there was an asteroid that was going to come very close to Earth and maybe hit Earth right before election time. Really surprised that didn't happen. Because, I mean, what else? What else are we missing here? It probably would have been sued, the asteroid. I don't know. I don't know how you guys are feeling. I'm a little blue. No pun intended. I'm sorry. I honestly really did not think that through. A little sad, a little anxious, of course. Holding your breath for 3 days really does take a lot out of you. And, who knew that you could sprain a finger just by crossing it so much? But I'm really disappointed by, I'm not shocked by the behavior of the guy who is still in the White House right now, but I am disappointed and disgraced by it. And I'm very disappointed to those people who have supported this guy and think that's okay. But you know my feelings about this, and I imagine most of you feel the same way. So I did, it's important to find humor in these dark times. There was a very funny tweet from Trevor Noah from The Daily Show. I will share it with you if you didn't see it. It says, breaking news, Trump campaign files 71,185,821 lawsuits against every person who voted for Joe Biden. I just can't believe, still crossing my fingers and I'm knocking wood. I still can't believe that we may again face an election where the person in the White House did not win the popular vote. And Joe Biden, last time I checked, was up by about 4 million. And it's ridiculous. It's a stupid country in many ways, isn't it? Anyway, so my cocktail for this evening, glad you asked. I don't know what you guys are having, but wait a second. Let me do this. I don't know what you all are drinking, and I imagine you're drinking. I have been since Tuesday about 8 o'clock. I haven't stopped. But again, I usually call days like that Thursday. But, I figured, this is so fucking crazy that I didn't even bother with a cocktail tonight, actually mixing drinks. But I did have a good friend I want to introduce to you who's joining me on the show tonight. His name is Glenn. And he brought me some lovely cocktail. And I'm not even, I'm not even going to use a glass. My wife isn't here, so yeah, she'll never watch this. So cheers, everyone. And here's to a hopefully brighter tomorrow, right? Okay, cheers. Glenn, Scottish, He's Scottish, Glenn is. And he's very, very, I'll tell you what Glenn is. Glenn is very smooth. And he's single. Malt. Yeah, that's right. So anyway, I like to start these with, and as I told you last time, this last one I'm going to do for a while. I'm going on slight hiatus. I'll probably come back in December sometime to share new news with you. And I got some things to share with you tonight, okay? In addition to the hijinks. Sorry, I can't find a place that's not. I should have not spray painted. That would be really awkward. Hairspray my glasses, right? Remember when we used to do that on stage? Put hairspray on the glasses so it wouldn't reflect and blind the audience. Yeah, I never did that either. So let's see, today in theater history, some really interesting stuff happened today in theater history. 1941, which seemed like only yesterday, Blithe Spirit by the great Noel Coward opened on Broadway and ran for 650 performances. I wrote down, I typed this out today, right? And I wrote down in the year 680. Apparently I have a time machine somewhere. Excuse me, Glenn's calling. Yeah, I know what I miss. The only thing missing to make this even better and more efficient is a straw. In 1968, I'm going to say, no, it is not right. It's not right. It's 1980. No, it's 1980. I remember this. I wasn't there. 1980, great play. Lanford Wilson's 5th of July opened on Broadway with Christopher Reeve, Amy Wright, and one of my favorite names of all time, not just a theater name, but one of my favorite names, Swoosie Kurtz, because it sounds like a complete sentence, doesn't it? Sounds like it's got a verb and a subject. And it ran for 511 performances. And then 1987, look at all these plays, these really terrific plays that opened on the same day. 1987, Into the Woods by the great Stephen Sondheim opened with Bernadette Peters. Bernadette Peters. I told you my wife isn't here right now. Very lonely. It's very lonely in this room. Yeah, so that's cool. Birthdays today. Speaking of the greats, the great Sam Shepard was born on this day. Andrea McArdle, whom you remember, was the original Annie in what's the name of that play? It's a musical. Don't tell me. Shoot. Oh, I know, Starlight Express. So she was the original. And coincidentally, also on this day, the same day, same year, 1963, think about that. Annie is 57. That's right. My God, Annie is 57 years old. Can that be right? That's right. Annie is 57 years old. Holy smokes. Born on the same day in the same year, Tatum O'Neal. Who would have thunk? Vivian Lee, sorry, Glenn. Vivian Lee, Art Garfunkel. Contrary to popular belief, Art Garfunkel was not born on the same day as Paul Simon. Garfunkel was born on this day. Peter Noone. Now, if you don't know who Peter Noone is, then you're not as old as I am, or you're not an aficionado of the classic rock, as we say. Because Peter Noone is actually Herman of Herman's Hermits. I'm Henry the 8th, I am. Henry the 8th, I am. Well, they had songs like 2 minutes long, and it's the same. It's like 5 words. Brilliant. One of my favorite actors. I love this guy, Sam Rockwell. Sam, that deserves another. Sam Rockwell. Boy, Sam Rockwell is a terrific actor. As far as I'm concerned, he can do any well. You thought I was kidding about drinking since Tuesday. Sam Shepard, Sam Rockwell, it's Big Sam Day. Andrea McArdle, Tatum O'Neal, Vivian Lee, Art Garfunkel, Peter Noone. Oh, and lest we forget, Natalie Schafer. Now, if you don't know who Natalie Schafer is, or was, she passed away a couple of decades ago. Natalie Schafer was Lovey in Gilligan's Island and the subsequent, Return to Gilligan's Island, and Gilligan's Island meets the Harlem Globetrotters, and Gilligan's Island, The Force Awakens, all this, she was Lovey in those, and the great Natalie Schafer. I can't remember what her real name was. Natalie Schafer. Lovey Howell. I can't remember what her real name was. Lovey Howell. I don't know. But if you know, let me know. And I didn't know this until I looked it up today, but she was also a stage actress. She did like 15 or 20 plays on Broadway before getting into, smaller roles in the movies. And as a matter of fact, she was in, I think it was a revival. I don't think it was an original production of 6 Characters in Search for an Author. in search of an author. I'm so sorry. In search of an author. And I think, and of course, she was known for Gilligan's Island, and then some soap opera, and The Love Boat. Of course, everybody was on The Love Boat. Everybody was on The Love Boat. Exciting and new. Come on board. We're expecting you. And I know what you're thinking out there. You're sitting there saying, hey, but yeah, gosh, those are okay. But what about the great Charles Chauncey, who, as you all remember, was an American clergyman and president of Harvard University. Oh, it was called Harvard College at that time. I didn't know that. Harvard College at that time. He was born in Yardley, England. Yardley Bury, England. And he was born in 1592. And he died in he died in 1672. So he had a decent life, right? Yeah. So anyway, so there you go. I chose Charles Chauncey just because I thought it was a fun name. Charlie Chauncey. Okay. First of all, not first of all, but third or fourth or fifth of all, I want to thank everybody who participated in our Raven Popalooza. I hope you got to see that last weekend. It was quite cool. That was the first time we've used our new camera equipment that we're going to be using for live streaming and sound. And Dan Spears and Tom Lucas did a terrific job. It looked really good, I thought, except for mine because it was me. But I thought everybody did a terrific job. It was really, really, really good. And thanks to Dan and Tom and Dennis Whitaker for putting that together, and Tom for airing it on Saturday, Halloween, which wasn't nearly as spooky this year as it has been in years past. Well, it was spooky in a different way, but it wasn't. I don't know if you guys got trick-or-treaters. We got 8. We did a little thing where we put a little clothesline out there and, contactless candy. I should have just thrown it on the porch and stood on the porch and thrown it at him, but I didn't. So that was cool. That was great. I told you about the project that Tony Shiloh and I did with the Windsor High School, the Nueva Arts program at Windsor High, Tales from Carnage Falls. That was cool too. And what was great is that there was a double feature on Saturday. So we watched Popalooza at 7, and then at 9 we got to watch Tales from Carnage Falls. If you haven't seen it, I think it might be still on YouTube. nuevaarts.org. Or just look up Nueva Arts Carnage Falls on YouTube, and I think the recording might still be up there. It's pretty cool. These students wrote and acted in urban legend stories. They created they created a town called, wait for it, Carnage Falls, and did all these urban legend stories. And they were really cool. They were really great. And we got to film them on location at this really spooky farm. And because of COVID protocols, we only got one student at a time in there. Like everything these days, it was a great experience, and I love those students so much in that program and the teachers there so much. But it ultimately was unsatisfying in a way because we didn't have a cast party. I didn't get to share their success with them, which is unfortunate and part of where we are right now. But they did a terrific job, and if you get a chance, I'm serious, go look at it. It's 10 stories. You can watch a few and then bag out or whatever, but you should see what these kids do. It's for me, and I think Tony would agree with me. For me, it's inspiring that there's so many of these talented kids who are doing really cool things and things that I didn't do when I was in high school, and it's really cool. So if you get a chance, look it up. Tales from Carnage Falls. Oh, and this Monday, I should get this off here right now. Let's go back here. This Monday is episode 5 in the Sad Dads Gang, written by the lovely and talented Tony Shiloh, featuring the voice talents of Jeremy Boucher, Jonathan Graham, Pete Stringfellow, Christy Calsan, and myself, and sound effects. Sound effects this for episodes 4, 5, and 6 were done by the lovely Zach Acevedo. So tune in Monday, 7 o'clock for Sad Dads Gang episode 5. There's only 6 episodes, so it's getting near the end now. What's going to happen in episode 5? I know, but I can't tell you. So Facebook Live at 7 o'clock on Monday, and also YouTube, our Raven Players YouTube channel. I think it's called Raven Players or Raven Theater. If you look up Raven Players, you might get the Baltimore Ravens. So we'll try it both ways. I think it's Raven Players. And I know that the other episodes are on Facebook Live, Facebook right now. So if you want to look at that, they're 10 minutes long. They're 10 minutes long, right? About as long as it takes me to finish the rest of this. And if you want to look at the past episodes and catch up, right? If you watch all 4 of them before Monday, that's 40 minutes of your time. Did I do that correctly? The math? Yes, I did. Okay, so it'll be fun. And if you miss it, we're going to put them all on showticksforyou.com afterwards, so you can see all 6, or you can listen to all 6 episodes. The Sad Dad's Gang. It's been a lot of fun, and I think people are enjoying it. So that's coming up Monday. Oh, and then next week, a week from tonight, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, a week from tonight, we have another streamed performance of a recorded 6 short plays under the generic title of What the Fuck? I shouldn't have said that. What the bleep is going on? And it's 6 short plays that we commissioned from playwrights literally all across the country. Aaron Lane, who is I got connected to via Beulah Vega, who many of you know, very talented Beulah Vega, helped me out and contacted playwrights all over the country to write 6 short plays. We commissioned them to write plays about current social issues. And they came in, and there was some really great ones. There's some income inequality, racial tension issues, LGBTQ issues that are dealt with in a really, I was very impressed by all 6 plays, and really fascinating. I mean, 6 disparate perspectives, and they're really compelling. And we've got some great actors, great directors, and we have our own Tony Shula, who wrote one of them. So we've got a local representation there. So it's a week from today on Showtix. Wait a second. There it is. Oh, that's what I should have said. What the beep is going on? Showticksforyou.com. So it's a scheduled recording is what they call it. It's not live stream. It's a scheduled recording. So the actors and directors are recording those this week, and we're going to get them in there. And it'll be November 12th, 13th, and 14th at 7:30 p.m. So you can go to this URL, and that'll take you directly to the Raven Player events. And I believe that What That Bleep is going on is the first one you're going to see. And there's some of our past events too, like the Mike Blake Mysteries virtual variety show. Some of the Shakespeare audios are still on there. And I think 24/7 is still on there as well. But this is where you go and get your tickets. And tell friends, because I think you're going to be really entertained by this. The scripts are, like I said, really inventive and really good. So that's a week from tonight, starting at 7:30 p.m. And it'll be next Friday, next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. What the bleep is going on? And thanks to Tom Lukens, Dennis Whitaker, and Dan Spears, or Dennis Spears, I gave him a new name, for figuring all this out. And Dan and Tom particularly have been working hard on figuring out how our new streaming model is going to work. We don't have a model streaming, not like, Christy Brinkley or somebody. I showed my age, didn't I? But it's our model for streaming for the future. Because as I told you ad nauseum, this is part of our business model from now on, since Sonoma County seems to be stuck in purple. Now, I love purple, but you know as well as I do, and this gets my goat, and believe me, I miss my goat. When I go out and see people who are just, not wearing masks in a public place, close together, and these business owners, most of them I think are really conscientious, but some of them are letting people in, more people than they should have in a small store, and they're not wearing masks either. There's one particular in Healdsburg, and you know what I'm talking about, that allows this to happen. And it just drives me a little nuts, because this is why we can't have nice things. It's not that difficult. New Zealand does it. South Korea does it. Countries, Italy, I mean, they do it, and they figure out how to do it. But for some reason, caring about, our fellow human being has become a political statement, and I do not understand that. But you've heard me rant on that before, so I'm not going to go there. But anyway, I forget how I got on this. But anyway, what I'm saying is we're kind of screwed right now, because we're in a county where, we got a lot of tourists coming in too. And I swear to God, I've seen this. I've seen these people coming out of like Bravos, say downtown Healdsburg, and I see them wearing masks at tables, theoretically, and they come out and they're on the sidewalk, and then they all get together. And I've also seen, and I know this at certain establishments in the Berg, that people sitting at the same table are not from the same household. And, we wonder why. And then you have these yahoos doing, races against the public protocol, against the health protocols, and wondering why they're getting singled out. Or, the Gallagher family, who I just really have a huge bone to pick with these mother, what's, doing a Halloween party because they think they can pull it off because they have money, because they're rich. And what happens is that we are stuck in purple because of people like this who are so selfish and thinking about only their own selves, as as the person currently in the White House does, that they don't consider how their actions impact other people. Drives me nuts. Okay, this is why we're stuck in purple. And this is why, again, we can't have nice things. And this is why it's going to be a long time before we get people back in the theater, audience-wise. So that's why the investment in this camera equipment and software is so important, because from now on, we're going to stream our shows. At least, even if we end up doing longer runs of shows in the future, which I hope we do, sooner than later, we're going to stream at least one of them, and maybe multiple, because a lot of people have talked to me personally. How would you talk to somebody else other than personally? I just realized how stupid that phrase is, and said, hey, I love what you guys are doing, but I don't know if I'm ever coming back in that theater again. And I get it. I get it, because it's not, you can take care of yourself, but you're going in there and you're thinking, even if we socially distance an audience in the Raven, it's 100 people, and you don't know what those other 100 people are doing or not doing. So I get it. It's like, you don't want to take a risk with your life. And unlike, the Yahoo in the White House right now, I do care that 250,000 people have died in this country. And I think a lot of people do. But until everybody sort of pitches in and cares about it, we're screwed. So we're in purple for a long time. That is to say, this is a great segue, but we are going to be live streaming It's a Wonderful Life. It will be a genuine live stream in December, and there's a chance for us to try. First time we're going to try it live, a live stream with our new equipment. So we're going to be doing that December 17th, 18th, and 19th, and directed by the great Ron Smith. And most of the same cast are going to be back from last time. Matt Farrell, Angela Squire, Greg Skopp, and Shauna McClure is going to be doing our Foley girl. She's our sound effects person. And we have Grace Reed coming in to do Mary, and Justin Brown, I hope I got that name right, Justin, is joining us to do George this time. Zach Acevedo is going to be the stage manager. Tom Lukens, of course, is doing the sound. So that's going to be really cool. And we thought it was a really good way to sort of introduce our live streaming efforts, because we can keep everybody socially distanced on stage. And it's a radio play, so we're in good shape. Nobody has to kiss anybody. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that's going to be December 17th, 18th, and 19th. It's a Wonderful Life, a live radio play. You've seen it. We've done it 3 times, and I love it. I mean, the story is great and the script is great, but what really makes it is this group of actors. And don't tell anybody, but I wouldn't do it unless I could get the same group of actors. So it's gonna be terrific. I'm going to take a visit with my friend Glenn here for a second. I just got a text. Oh, it's my son. For since Tuesday. Okay. Oh. Glenn, you're such a good friend. So here's bad news. I've been holding out hope. I called it a season of hope. Remember when I announced the season in late March or April or May, or I don't know when it was, 1989. And I call it season of hope because it says, I hope we can do this season. And we can't. That's the unfortunate reality in which we live. But we've been doing, I think, a pretty good job. I'm not tooting my own horn because I know how difficult it is, but I think we've been doing a pretty good job of keeping the Raven players alive and offering a lot of entertainment. The Shakespeare audios, the Mike Blake mysteries, the original double feature original radio plays, the virtual variety show that Katie Watts Whitaker put together, and Dennis Watts Whitaker, and and I'm sorry if I'm forgetting things, I probably am, but the Zoom In plays, which were terrific. But we've been doing really a really good job of keeping content out there and trying to tell our stories. And I appreciate all the work that everybody has volunteered. Everybody's just volunteered their work. I mean, they're just coming in on their Sundays and just doing it out of the goodness of their heart. I really appreciate that. So going forward, what we're going to do is I'm rethinking. I'll let you inside my mind. It's a very strange place, but I'm rethinking the season because we don't have a season anymore. I've had to cancel, 3, 4 shows, and Woody is the latest one because we just can't do it. I just cannot, with good conscience, bring people into that theater and definitely not put any performers at risk. We just can't do it. I'm hoping that we can do it later in the year. And don't tell anybody, but I'm hoping we can do it outdoors because I think that'd be a terrific play to do outdoors. Woody Guthrie's American Song, and it's a message. My original idea, was to do it right around this time, around election time, because I think it's a message we need, a real populist message, and I still think we need it, and we will need it, right? No matter what happens in the next couple of days. So I'm holding out hope. I'm not going to give up on that one yet, and I'm holding out hope that we can do it, and probably outdoors. But honestly, I don't know what's going to happen with the rest of the season. So what I'm doing right now, just so y'all know, I'm not slacking. I'm thinking about what plays we can do that either were written for this environment or that can be adapted easily, 2, 3-person plays that can be adapted easily to this sort of virtual live streaming environment and socially distanced, keeping everybody safe. So look for that. That's going to come up. And I can tell you right now, I got 4 titles in mind. I'm planning on rolling out the next 4 months, hopefully 1 a month, and we'll see how that works. So check out Facebook and Instagram in particular, because Katie does a fantastic job about keeping things up to date. So if you want to know what's going on, short of texting me or emailing me or calling me, check out Facebook, our Facebook page and our Instagram page. And you'll find out the latest, right? Because she's really good about keeping us all informed. So that's going to happen. Woody Guthrie's not going to happen. Hopefully, it'll happen in the future because it's too good of a piece to let go. And the actors, the talent involved in that show, I was so excited about it because it's good people and Tika and Katie and and Joe directing and just some awesome talent in that show. And so we're going to do it, but we're going to do it when it's safe for everybody, performers, crew, audience, front of house, volunteers, everybody. We're not going to do it because that would be hypocritical. We're not going to do it until it's safe for everybody, but we will do it. But like I said, the rest of the season is in flux, not a flux capacitor, Doc Brown, but in flux. So just keep eyes and ears open, and I'll touch base with you in December. I'm going to know a little bit more about what we're going to do in December, but check out Facebook or Instagram, and you'll find out. Also, right after It's a Wonderful Life, here's a teaser for you. We're going to do another Mike Blake mystery. It's a Mike Blake Christmas. That's right. I know what the plot is, but I'm not going to tell you. So look for that in mid or to late December, a Mike Blake Christmas. That'll be fun. So anyway, we got and the plan is right now to do another Raven, a real Raven fundraiser in January. Thank you to those of you who have contributed to the Moving Forward campaign on GoFundMe. I think it's still up. I'm pretty sure it's still up. I think we had $8 million last time I checked. We didn't really. We had like 26,000, which is pretty good. But if you want to donate or share that, just go to GoFundMe and check out Raven Player. Raven, I think it's Raven Performing Arts Theater. I should be more prepared for these, shouldn't I? So that's still going on. I think you can still donate to that. And if you know some big buck donors who want to donate, that would be fantastic. But then I think we're going to do a fundraiser in January, and we're going to do it like a variety show. So it's not going to be like a telethon. I think I told you a couple months ago it's going to be a telethon. It's going to be an entertaining night where we're going to hopefully raise some money to keep us going. And I can say, I really want to shout out to Rich Norgrove, who is chairman of our board, who has put his money where his mouth is, and he believes. The thing about Rich, I'll tell you, because I've known his son longer than I've known him and his son's wife, Tammy. The thing about Rich is that he's a genuine guy. He's a mensch. And he believes in this theater. And it's not bullshit. I mean, he's not a guy who's just doing this just to get, just to put it on his resume. He couldn't care less about that. But he believes in what we're doing. And he has many times kept this theater afloat. So if you see Rich Richard Norgrove Sr. If you ever see, Richard Norgrove Jr., he's great too. If you ever see him sometime, you thank him, because he's done a lot to keep this theater going. And we wouldn't be here. It would be so easy. It would have been so easy just to shut down when everything went to hell in a handbasket. But he didn't do it. He didn't allow it to do it. So thanks to Rich for that. And so that's why, this fundraiser is so important to keep us going, to keep our theater alive. That's it. I want to leave you with one quote. It may be more for me than for you, but I think it's important. I'm going to put this back on because I want you to go watch this show. This is from, he was a former president. I can't remember when, because it seems like, I don't know, I want to say 20, 30 years ago. It was quite a few administrations ago, it seems like. His name was Barack Obama. He said this: hope in the face of difficulty, hope in the face of uncertainty, the audacity of hope. In the end, that is God's greatest gift to us. A belief in things not seen, a belief that there are better days ahead. So I think that's good for us all to remember. And like I said, I think that may be more for me than for you right now, but it's good for me to hear those words. Now, I will let you know about those better days ahead from my new home in British Columbia. So thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me tonight. I told you about all this cool stuff's coming up. And like I said, check in with Facebook. Check in with our Facebook page and our Instagram page, because Katie will keep things up to date. If you got any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. I think most of you do. And I'll see you sometime. Just keep your eyes and ears open. And I'll see you sometime in December. In the meantime, I'm going to do the outro, but I'm also going to toast my good friend Glenn, because he's been with me. He's been by my side through good times and bad. Thanks. Oh, I'm still here. Sorry. It's like Ferris Bueller, isn't it? Okay. What are you doing here? Go home. Go home. Good night, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.